World Rhino Day is celebrated on 22nd September and provides a perfect opportunity for us to stand against the trade of rhino horns and preserve those incredibly magnificent creatures. Rhinos are one of the most critically endangered species on Earth. Not too long ago, at the turn of 20th century, over 500,000 of the large mammals could be found roaming across Africa and Asia. The awful rise of poaching for rhino horn and habitat loss has since decimated the rhino population. There are currently close to 26,267 rhinos left in the wild outside parks and sanctuaries. As a result, World Rhino Day is celebrated on 22nd September. It aims to make people more aware about rhinos and conserve what is left of these wonderful creatures. There are 5 species of rhinos, and each has a unique feature. The first species is white rhino. We have black rhino, greater one-horned rhino, Sumatran rhino, and Javan rhino. Now, white rhino is one of the 2 rhino species found in Africa and the second largest land mammal on Earth. Despite its name, the white rhino is not actually white at all. Its skin is gray in color. Now, some of the characteristics that the white rhino has is it is a grazer with a large front horn and can often be found grazing on short grass in the open plains of the savanna. They are an important part of the ecosystem. They need to feed on a daily basis but can survive for 4 to 5 days without water. Adult males typically defend their territories and roam with small groups of female rhinos and their calves. The southern white rhino can be found mostly in South Africa, with smaller translocated populations found in Kenya and Zimbabwe. There are also smaller reintroduced populations in Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Swaziland, Uganda, Eswatini, while a small population survives in Mozambique. Our next species is the black rhino. The black rhino is one of the 2 rhino species found in Africa. In the same way that the rhino is not white, the black rhino is actually not black. Its skin is more of a gray color. There are a number of theories as to why the black rhino is called black, but 2 of the most common are that the prehensile upper lip has a type of beak formation, and this has been translated to black, and perhaps the more common theory is that the English called it black as it were opposite to white. The African black rhino is an herbivore grazer and is often found in the thick bush of the savannas. Far more shy, secretive, and aggressive than the white rhino, the black rhino can be more difficult to track and spot. They tend to wander smaller home ranges as long as there are woody plants and waterholes nearby. The greater one-horned rhino, also known as the Indian rhino, is one of the 3 species found in Asia. It is estimated that as few as 200 individuals existed in the world in the early 1900s. Thanks to a concerted conservation effort, their current population is thought to be around 3,588. The greater one-horned rhino is a grazer and can often be found in grasslands and wetlands. They will often spend up to 60% of their day wallowing in water and are quite accustomed to feeding underwater. We have the Sumatran rhino. This is one of the 3 rhino species found in Asia. Their population is said to have declined by about 50% since the late 1990s. Their decline, like all other species of rhinos, is due to poaching for their own, but the Sumatran rhino is also suffering due to loss of habitat. Their natural habitat is being destroyed and developed for palm oil plantations. Unfortunately for the Sumatran rhino, their habitat is very close to China, one of the main destinations along with Vietnam for creating a demand for rhino horn. The Sumatran rhino is a browser, and some of their favorite food is leaves, plant tips, twigs, and fruits. The Sumatran is the smallest and heaviest of all the surviving rhinos. It is said to be the closest living relative to the now extinct woolly rhino. Last but not least, we have the Javan rhino. Now, the Javan rhino is one of the 3 rhino species found in Asia. They are most endangered of the 5 species of the rhinos. Now, on 16th August last year, that is 2021, Indonesia's Ministry of Environment and Forestry announced the birth of 2 more rhino calves, bringing the total to as few as 75 surviving in the wild today. Extinction for the Javan rhino is a real possibility. Protection of the last remaining population in Ujung Kulon National Park in Indonesia is having a good degree of success with no poaching incidences reported since 2005. The Javan rhinos possess a single horn of 10 in 25 cm long. At least in males, females have a smaller or no horn. The Javan rhino spends large periods of the day wallowing in waterholes and mud baths. Their long upper lip is very distinctive and allows the Javan rhino to browse on trees, twigs, and leaves, although they do also graze on open grassland too. Reporting for EBN TV, my name is Lynette Momo.